Hey Supernatural family, this is Emily from Supernatural on the Rocks. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. Number one, it's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. Anchor is everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Don't you cry no more.
Hello, welcome to Supernatural on the Rocks. I am Emily.
And I'm Mandy.
And this is the next episode of the Winchesters Weekly, our foray into weekly episode recaps of the Winchesters.
I think we're doing pretty good so far.
2 for 2.
Yeah.
It's 100%.
Yeah.
Today we are talking about season 1, episode 2, Teach Your Children Well. What I love about this episode is, just like a fanfic, they gave the title out of a song lyric.
They really did. Like, that was the first thing I noticed when the title flashed on the screen. I was like, okay, so we're like AO3ing it.
100%. Yeah, I really appreciated that. I don't know if this is something that's going to happen as TV writers get younger and come from the generation of fanfic.net and LiveJournal and AO3.
Yeah.
But it's amazing that the title, I mean, it's not like it's never happened before, but it's so blatant that it's amazing.
And it's like the supernatural realm is like intrinsically tied to fan fiction trends and like tropes.
And music.
Yes, and music.
And I mean, sometimes these episodes are just straight up songfic, and kind of this one is. This one just took this song and was like, all right, what's the plot around the song?
Yeah.
And I can't hate that, having, I think both of us have done this before.
So yeah. I did it today, literally.
So we cannot shame them for this. And honestly, great. Thank you for doing it for us.
And like the name is Teach Your Children Well, and the song is Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, which is just very in line with the supernatural style of music.
Yes, and we'll do the quick recap in a second, but before I forget, Dean and Sam have gone undercover as one or two of those people, and I now can't remember which one, but they have gone as agents Stills and Nash, and I think maybe so is Cass. Like, it's all looped. The red threads are on the wall, and
yes.
It's so what's the word? It's so charming in a way that
I think it is genuinely going to be one of my favorite parts of the Winchesters, just like going, oh, hey, I know that thing from this other supernatural thing. Like, if the writers are genuinely like putting their heart into it with the continuity, and I feel like they are trying.
It seems like it. So before we forget, the quick rundown of the episode is John and Millie, and if you don't remember, Millie is his mother, are on different pages about his new interest in hunting, and Ada tries to bridge the gap. Mary follows a trail from her father that points to the disappearance of a teenage boy in Topeka. Meanwhile, Carlos has a heart-to-heart with Mary as Latika dives into her books to identify the monster. And this was written by Robbie Thompson and David H. Goodman. That is our very kind of template episode. This is like a good old-fashioned monster of the week.
It felt
supernatural
very early supernatural.
Well, something that someone else pointed out, it's a mirror to season 1, episode 2, Wendigo.
Oh, interesting.
And, just a monster in the woods that's kidnapping people, and they have to go hunt it down. It's just kind of I think they did this on purpose.
Yeah. Either they did this on purpose, or they're just using cheat sheets, and we're going to see that trend real quick.
Yeah. Like,
but
hey,
for episode 2, I'm going to assume it was just like a nod.
A nod to the first season. Like, hey, what's a cool monster in the wood that does cool things? Like,
if we start seeing Mary with like demon blood, then you might want to check their writer's notes.
Wasn't her white dress frighteningly familiar to
It
the
was.
nightgown that she dies in.
Yes. It really was. I thought that too, as soon as, like, I saw her walk out in
Mhm.
it.
Surely that was also on purpose, right?
They're going, like, heavy-handed on the imagery, but, like, for
Yeah.
this early on, I think it's okay.
I think that had to have been Dean. I don't know if this was, or not Dean, sorry. Well, same person, Jensen.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know if this is Galaxy Brain Jensen, but I think this was certainly Wired Brain Jensen in an
Mhm.
episode about conversations with parents and children, making
Yeah.
sure everyone is like, remember, Mary's gonna die before their relationships are solidified.
Yeah.
And, uh,
Oh.
you know, it's a lot to think about for a show that is still riding on kind of Buffy level camp, which I don't mind. Like it, I
Yeah.
kind of like how fun
It
the
definitely
Winchesters
has its
are.
place.
Yeah, it's a fun show so far. It opens in Topeka with these 70s hippies. Again, their costumes do look like they were from Buffalo Exchange.
Yeah.
I
Especially the crop top. I don't remember when she's wearing it, but,
Yeah.
it's like a crop top T-shirt. I think it's later
Mhm.
in the episode. I was like, "Yeah, I see the." I don't know. It's someone cosplaying
Yeah.
lazily
Uh-huh.
as someone from the 1970s.
It's like what's the generation below? Is it Generation Alpha? No, not Alpha. Gen X, Gen Y, whoever they are below us, dressing up for Halloween as millennials.
Oh, like Gen Z.
Gen Z, there we
Gen
go.
Z, yeah.
Where you're like,
Yeah.
that's almost
Yeah.
what we wore in high school. It's not quite right, but I see what
Yeah.
you're doing.
It's recognizable. It's
It's
like
recognizable.
the effort is recognizable.
It's like the bell bottoms are too clean.
Yeah.
They're too crisp. But as we talked about in our first episode, well, I mean, the first episode of Winchester's Weekly, not of Supernatural and the Rocks,
Mhm.
but they did get rid of the sepia
Yeah,
tone to
they
the
did.
episode. Thank
I
God.
wa I was glad for that.
Me too.
They coulda kept a little of it, but
Hmm.
I was happier with how it looked.
I was too. Everyone got a haircut.
Yeah.
Um, it's definitely post pilot look where things are settling down into what the show is gonna look and sound like. Um, so I think they're gonna find their feet of how this is gonna roll. Yeah. So, we've got some hippies dancing around a fire, and a kid sees a figure of his father in the woods because daddy issues.
Always the daddy issues.
No one, no one is like, oh, my mom.
Yeah.
It's always the dad. Um, but unfortunately, this dad grows tree arms and sucks him into the dirt.
Because that's normal.
Hmm.
Um, the CGI is still CW bad, but I did find it nostalgic
Hmm.
still.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I
"Aw, that's mediocre effects."
It would be almost disappointing if it were Game of Thrones level CGI.
Yeah. It wouldn't feel right.
It would not feel, you'd be like, damn, that's too
Yeah.
good. I'm not here to see this for real. I want to see little puppet strings, and
Yeah.
I don't want to feel like they're getting thrown into a wall. I just want it to kind of bounce a little bit.
Everything's gotta be, like, 3 frames behind where it should be.
Yeah, yeah. Def- yep. Eye lines ever so slightly off. So we get our Dean voiceover, which I'm gonna assume will happen in most episodes as our narrator,
Yeah.
kind of giving us the lay of what this episode is gonna be about. I hope they're not too heavy-handed with.
It's gonna get real complicated unless, like, I don't know, unless we're not supposed to assume, like we talked in the last episode about, like, when Dean is telling this story,
Mhm.
like, it could also just be a disconnected thing.
Mhm.
Like, it's not supposed to fit into canon. I feel like they probably are gonna try to fit it into canon, but
Right. Yep.
it just occurred to me, like, other shows had narrations like that, but didn't need to explain them.
Mhm. Yeah, like, of where they are.
Yeah.
So I mean, if maybe they'll explain it and maybe they won't. Who knows?
Mm.
Guess we'll have to wait and see. We kind of cut to the gang. I don't know that they have a name. yet, and I don't know that they need one. But they are at another dead end to Samuel's trail with a bunch of dead zombies. And
Yes,
Mary is convinced that her dad has left the scene alive.
which
And
is a
that
song I've heard before.
yes. Yep. And that he's leaving her messages. And at no point is anyone like, this could be a trap.
Yeah. I don't know. I like the characters in the team,
hmm
but I feel like we haven't got. I don't know. We're at the point where we're told how good they are more than shown.
Yes. Yeah, no one has had the opportunity to prove anything yet.
Yeah. So I'm like, are they just like understanding she's that stubborn, or are they just like, well, she must be right.
hmm
She's Sam's. Is Sam? Is that it?
Samuel.
Samuel. Yeah.
Can't call him Sam because Sam is in the
Yeah, that's
future.
true. That's true.
Yeah.
It's gonna get confusing.
Sam 1.0.
Yeah. OG Sam.
Yeah, but it turns out to be kind of a dick.
Yeah.
Like, don't find him. We don't want this guy.
Yeah.
No, you leave him lost. We don't need him in the future.
You can
He's-
lose new Sam too.
we don't need him either. We're good.
Yeah.
We'll change the timeline. The new adventures of Dean Winchester and his car.
Exactly. Yeah. And his angel.
And his angel. But yes, they're someone, we're assuming her dad, has left the new story of the kid stabbed to the chest of the zombie about the missing kid in Topeka, and they're just like, all right, that's next on the list. And here we do get like contention in the ranks about Mary's leadership style,
Mhm.
where they don't necessarily, no one's like voted her into the leadership role, and because it's episode 2, we haven't like met them as a group. We don't know how they came together. We don't know how they know each other, why they work together sometimes and why they don't. So I'm assuming those pieces are going to be filled out.
We also don't know how old they are, right?
No. Mm-mm.
I was just thinking, man, these kids look young.
Yeah, they could be children. Well,
Yeah.
if
Well,
John went to the war, do we know
but
if
he
John
lied about his
lied?
age.
Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't remember if it said
hmm
how he lied.
So he's 17?
17?
No, well, he lied to go to the war.
Yeah, it depends on how long he was there.
Yeah. Have we seen them in a bar drinking?
I don't
Because
think
then
so.
you get the drinking age. Although has the
Yeah.
drinking age changed from 18 to 21? We need context clues, Jensen.
Yeah, that'll be a mystery we get to like unravel.
Like,
Side quest. How old are
remember, we come from the Glee universe
Yeah.
where ages are nebulous
they? Yes.
and confusing. You have to give us something.
And yet will bear lifelong grudges.
And we will always be angry about it.
Mm-hmm.
We do. So, John and Mary are, well, they're obviously going to go on a case and find out about this missing kid. And they get their first set of fake IDs from Carlos, who
Which
is,
I like that.
yeah, this is how we start
Yeah.
out with the rock star
Mm-hmm.
fake ID names. Wow. Mick Fleetwood and Christine McVie.
Yeah. That kind of thing is fun.
It is fun. I love
Yeah.
it. Carlos does not love being left behind at the motel,
No, he doesn't.
which I understand because Mary is taking the pretty white boy who has no hunting experience
Oh yeah.
with her instead of the two people who have hunting experience. It's just it's choices.
It is choices.
I mean, I know we're supposed to follow the Mary John adventures, but it does suck, I think, for Carlos and
It does.
Lata.
Yeah. And I would like to see more of them. I hope I'm sure the focus will be on like the main two for a few episodes, but I'm excited for their inevitable like side character focused episodes.
Yes, definitely. And like backstory episodes.
Yeah. And please don't kill them.
Yeah. Yes, Jensen, please.
Don't kill them.
It's not going to be a good look for you if you kill them. And you must know this.
Yeah, he has to.
You
Has to,
have to.
seriously.
But we do also get our first Winchester undercover scene in the commune. starting
Oh
a
yeah.
long history of awkward undercover outfits.
Mhm.
Like parents like children, awkwardly dressing up in things
Yeah.
that don't quite work for you.
Carlos was rocking it though.
Carlos was rocking it. It's almost not undercover based on his
Yeah.
other outfits. It's
Yeah.
just what he wears.
That was his vibe.
Yeah, he was into it. They did I thought they spent a little too much time on the singing in the
The age
motel.
of dawning
Yeah.
of the age of Aquarius. Yeah.
Yeah, like, it was
That
cute, but
was
we got
a full Glee
it
performance.
it was not the crossover we needed.
No.
Yeah, not great. But we
Mhm.
do get a really great is it great? Well, we get a very thematic conversation about wanting to break away from your parents
Yes.
because this episode is nothing but
Yeah, that is
thematic.
it is a one note, which is not bad, but
Mm,
one note hit over and over.
yes. I, and, sometimes episodes work too hard to have too many things happening in them.
Mhm.
And this one did not. This one was like, we're about parents and children. And that is also what the show is about, I think, is two people searching for their fathers, and that's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
I think it's also going to be about friendships and later on relationships, but like right now there's people
Mhm.
searching for missing dads. So why wouldn't this be about people
Yeah.
trying to break away from overbearing parents?
I am curious to see because like it's an inevitability in this series that the two main characters will get together.
Mhm.
I want to see how they keep that interesting.
Mhm. Yeah.
I mean, they can will they won't they for a while, but like it's not going to be a mystery as to whether they end up together.
No, this is not the Winchester mystery.
Yeah.
And we're not even doing an enemies to lovers. Like
Yeah.
they're already hanging out.
They're they're well, they're not quite flirting yet, but as you pointed out, she is taking him on missions when he has no experience.
Yeah. She at least thinks he's worth enough to bring
Yeah.
along. Maybe because his dad had
Yeah.
value? But that's a lot of trust to put into someone you just met.
Yeah.
So while this is happening, Ada meets up with Millie. Um maybe so that women can talk about things. I'm always happy to have adult women have conversations with each other.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they are talking about a man,
Of course.
but you know,
Almost got there. Almost.
almost happened. um yeah, Ada's trying to explain to Millie that John just needs time to to come around to something. I think it's rough when someone tries to tell a mother about their children.
Yeah.
It's a difficult conversation. And I guess Ada was bold to tell Millie anything at all. And I was a little worried that that conversation was gonna have Millie thinking that things were untoward with both Winchesters.
Oh yeah. Oh,
It just
that could easily have happened.
it just had like a weird vibe all
Mhm.
of a sudden, like, let me tell you about your husband and your child. Like, uh careful. Um but I guess this was in part about helping Millie understand that this is something John needs to do,
Yeah.
which is a bit, again, we talked about in the last episode, is a bit retconny because he doesn't until after Mary
Yeah.
dies.
Yeah.
But I guess we're gonna have to follow Jensen and see what happens. And
See how Jensen makes that work.
I'm a little worried it's gonna be a memory wipe, and I hope it's not,
Yeah.
because that'll be disappointing.
I
Jensen.
feel like yeah, I feel like the memory wipe it would either require Jensen
And
assuming the audience is just going to go along with it or
mhm,
there's a lot of continuity to fix cuz I mean like John wouldn't have left any shit laying around from any of these missions
mhm.
cases.
Potentially angelic intervention.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm dubious.
I'm very dubious. Yeah. Ada also takes a cutting of a jasmine that's been planted on at the garage because she's a witch, which I love, and makes a tea with the jasmine to do some automatic writing, which is cool. We've not seen this before, I don't think, right? Automatic
Yeah.
writing.
I don't think so.
Again, something that might have been useful for like Sam to be able to do
Yeah.
as a he's a
The
witch. Like I did love. I mean, this is a supernatural thing and not a Winchester thing, but they're bound.
yeah.
Witch Sam is my favorite Sam, and how is this not something that he ever did?
Yeah.
Because if
Especially since he was supposed to have done like all the research, like all the
Mhm.
studying. Brilliant, big brain Sam.
Yeah, and she was able to use this tea to get the memories from a demon that was
Very useful. Like
yeah, because they are
very useful.
constantly around demons. How fucking useful would that have been?
Imagine Sam finding out that's possible. Like
Yeah, like,
no
wait,
one told me.
no one told me that demons that are possessing us or other people around us or maybe, like, in the vicinity of us, we can fucking use them? Shit!
Mm.
Just by cutting some flowers? Fuck. Yeah, that was a little like, okay, how did we lose this? God damn it. Um, back at the commune, another kid sees it was a school nun, right? Like a seemed like a nun
Yeah.
in the woods, and she also grows vines for arms and drags him into the ground, and that sucks for him. Two boys
Yeah.
down. Doesn't seem to affect the women.
Oh yeah. I didn't even
Just
realize that.
sad, lonely
Yeah.
boys.
Weak.
Weak. So the kids are trying to figure out what kind of monster this is, and it sucks for them that they don't have a laptop with endless amounts of Wi-Fi and data to do their research. They just have to talk about it and guess. And I think that sucks for them
Yeah.
because they first think it's a shapeshifter and then a mimic, and both of those are wrong.
Mary really does have the headstrong like Dean quality of yeah, we're just gonna go ahead. We're gonna do this.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, it's this thing that might be vulnerable to like copper. Let's just fucking steal some copper from the
Yeah.
motel. Like,
Yeah.
whoa, what? Maybe not. And also, how did ripping the copper out of that motel not cause a flood?
Yeah, really. Yeah.
You have
Like
to turn the water off.
that was the plumbing. You can't
Yeah,
turn the water off to the entire motel. Or
yeah.
maybe they did.
Like, hold on. You just
You're
went
not
in
getting
there
your
and
deposit back, guys.
no, you just went in there and ripped a pipe right out of the wall. Like, whoa, buddy. I was like, damn.
Yeah,
Um,
that
I
was
was like,
pretty
shit.
reckless. Very reckless.
It was a little reckless. Like in the motel room below them, someone's like, "What the fuck?"
Those motel owners are gonna have so much insurance claim to deal with.
Yeah, it would. It can't happen now because Supernatural's already over. But it would have been funny if there was like a one-off somewhere. They're banned from certain motel chains because a Winchester in the past had caused so much flood damage.
Yes.
And Sam and Dean are always like, "I don't know why. What the fuck happened? It wasn't us."
Yeah.
And it's from
Which
this instance.
that would be their reaction. Was it us? No, wait, that wasn't us.
That wasn't us. That was 30
We've
years
never
ago.
been there.
We haven't even been to Topeka. Yeah. Just banned from bars they've never been to because of these people ripping things out of walls. Damn. Um so luckily, Lata, with the help of Ada, identifies a flower, right?
Yes,
They
the
manage
purple
yeah,
flower.
that purple flower.
Yeah.
They managed to identify the monster as Latunda, who is a controlling and or was a controlling and abusive mother. Like now it's the mom who was turned into a monster in the woods who lures people to their doom with a familiar face. Rough that it's now a mother and not a dad.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of rude.
But it
Um,
kind of switches to mirror the John mommy issues we get.
mhm. Yes, because John is now in danger because he was complaining about his mother being too controlling over his decision to be a hunter. So he sees her in the motel room that he is slowly destroying. Um, and she does, the monster thing of telling him that, his dad never believed in him and whatnot, but she still captures him because he's got to be in danger once every couple of episodes.
Of course.
How could he not?
That's just how it goes.
That's just how it happens. I did like the apology between Mary and then Carlos and Lata,
Yes. Yeah.
but I wonder if it like has happened too soon because she's still going to be focused on finding her dad.
Yeah.
Like,
Maybe it'll be like a simmering issue where like they've acknowledged that this is an issue, but
mhm.
it's going to come to a head where none of them are willing to back down.
Because this is only episode number 2. I think there are 13 planned
13, yeah.
episodes. Yeah.
Mm.
And like that, I don't think she's suddenly going to say, okay, it's a team effort now.
Yeah. Too early to say I'm team Lada and Carlos.
hmm hmm I
So
don't
I
think
think
it's too
that one.
early. I
Yeah.
think, I think
And
that's fine.
Ada. Ada wasn't part of that conversation, but I dig her too. We got a little more of her in this episode.
Yeah, I take Ada. So obviously they defeat this monster. Unfortunately, without the box, their special monster box, that isn't working.
Yeah. What a shame. I mean, at least it came back.
It
At least at
Chekhov's
least it was
gun
there.
came back, but it didn't
Yeah,
fire.
it didn't work.
It was jammed. What the
Uh,
fuck? It's like they heard us talking shit about it, and they're like, "Hey, we'll
yeah.
bring it back, but it doesn't work."
Yeah.
Like,
I
but
gotta
why?
troubleshoot that. Try turning it off and on again.
Yeah, just turn it around a couple times, see what happens. So
Mm.
hopefully, like that's an ongoing thing that the box works and doesn't work because I think they need it for the Akrita question
Mm.
mark. But everyone gets all the trapped commune members get freed. Everyone goes home, reunites with their family members, and never have arguments with their parents ever again.
I was surprised that they weren't dead.
Yeah,
I
me
was kind
too.
of expecting, I don't know, little grisly,
hmm
little more morbid. I feel like early Supernatural kind of just left them dead most of the time.
Yeah, especially the ones that have been in there longer.
Yeah. If it's an episode where like multiple people are taken,
hmm
like the before the credits scene person's usually not making it to the end.
Yes. Yeah. The first guy has died, but maybe the
Yeah.
second guy that got taken isn't dead, that kind of a thing.
Mhm. Like there was someone they get to save, but
Right. And
not always
obviously,
everyone.
John's not going to die.
Yeah.
So then John gets the opportunity to introduce Mary to his mother, who has fixed up Mary's car, didn't charge her, which I think it's too early for that. I think Mary needs to pay.
Yeah. Charge her double next time,
Yeah.
K-May.
Get in there.
Yeah.
And Mary goes ahead and tells John that she believes in him and that she and Henry had this whole thing that sitcom and movie couples have where they always end a fight by saying I love you. But the day that Henry walked out the door, they didn't say I love you to each other.
Single tear down my cheek.
One single tear. Because that's what happens in TV shows.
Yeah.
Something different happened that day. I would love to see more of these child-mother relationships and not just the father relationships.
Yeah.
Like, where's
And I'm
Carlos's
hoping,
mom?
yeah. I was gonna say, I'm hoping like Millie is a regular character.
Mhm.
Is there supernatural canon about when she dies?
I have no idea.
I was gonna say,
Honestly.
because if that's not covered, then she's a character I expect will die at some point to give John some more tragic backstory. But
Yeah, that's a good
hopefully
question.
we keep her for a while.
I don't know that we know jack shit about her. Yeah, because that would
Yeah.
be Dean's grandmother.
Yeah. Yeah. Who is
And
someone who should be alive in his lifetime still. I mean, he's 20
Mhm.
something when the show, like when Supernatural starts. So
Yeah.
I'm just assuming she's dead. Or Dean just got a grandma chilling somewhere that they never go visit.
That would actually be really funny. It's like Cass one day is like, so family Christmas? Like, oh yeah, my grandma's still alive. Like, what? The fuck? Yeah,
Well,
that's why we always have free gas in Kansas. Is we just go to
yeah.
grandma's place.
I feel like
Yeah.
Cass has actually been there before. He just had no idea when Dean ran inside for 5 minutes. He was saying hi to grandma.
He was just chilling in the Impala and had no idea because he couldn't see the Winchester sign. It was like out of sight. He's just like, God damn it, man! You have to tell me these things.
We're just giving them ideas here.
Yeah, just left and right, left and right.
Yeah.
Oh boy. The end of the episode is Ada showing them a secret door in the clubhouse, I guess.
Yeah.
where she's been doing her witchcraft, and she has a lead on the monster box. Um, and she wants to use her automatic writing to get answers about the Akrita and Samuel Winchester. And everyone seems super shocked about all of this. And I thought it ended a little abruptly. I was like, "Wait, tell me
Yeah.
more about this." But then we
It
get
felt like that could have either been the beginning of next week's episode or
yeah.
just like a little more to it.
Yeah, because then we get a final scene of, a spooky hooded figure in the
Mhm.
forest, pulling like a light into a bottle.
I was confused.
And then
I mean, like, I know we're not supposed to know what it is
yeah.
already, but I still got annoyed at being
And then
confused.
I think they were like giant
I
scorpions.
I couldn't tell if they were spiders or
Yeah.
scorpions or I was just scurrying along the ground.
Yeah. And
How big were they?
I couldn't tell either. I was like,
Yeah.
don't
Like, are
make me
these
have to turn.
gigantic or is it perspective?
They looked pretty big.
They looked big.
Yeah. And I was like, don't make me turn the lights off to watch
Yeah.
Supernatural because it's so dark. And I think the figure had like feminine hands. It felt like a woman.
I
So
could see that. Yeah. I
hopefully it's
didn't.
not Millie because that would be
Oh, I hope.
bullshit.
Oh, well, that would be.
And
That
that
could be interesting, but I hope it's not her. I feel like it's way too early to vilify a such an important canon character.
yeah, maybe that's why she's not in the rest of the show though.
Yeah.
He had to kill mom.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's a very kind of classic monster of the week episode for
Mhm.
Supernatural, and I liked it. I thought it was fun.
I did too. Yeah, I mean it just felt incredibly reminiscent.
Hmm. Of ye olden days of
Yes.
Supernatural. I feel like I want to start keeping track of lines in the episode that are way too 2020s
Oh, that would be good. Yeah.
because
Oh, that's a good idea.
the one that caught my attention was when Carlos brought in the pizza and Mary said, "Is this just literal cheese?"
Yeah.
And I was like,
The
"Okay."
literal phenomenon's definitely
Yeah.
newer.
I was like, "All right, that is not someone from the 60s." It's like that was someone
Yeah.
from yesterday saying, "Literal cheese? Get out of here with
That's a
that."
good idea. I'm also going to start, I think, making notes about what feels very supernatural
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
like like unofficial scale of like whether it's a fun subtle nod or like a hammer to the head.
Yep. Would it, not a hammer to the head, but like a nail to the back.
Yeah, that's too far.
Too soon.
Too soon.
The too soon scale.
Yeah, that is a 10 on the too soon scale.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, have you looked at summaries for future episodes?
No, I haven't because I am trying to decide how raw I want to go into each episode. Because if you think
Yeah.
about the experience of watching Supernatural in 1820, um, you like sometimes had the summary from the TV guide,
Yeah.
but that was it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was gonna ask because when I was pulling up episode 2, I accidentally clicked episode 3 even though it wasn't online, and I saw the summary for it,
Mm.
and I was like, "Oh, I don't think I wanna do that.
Yeah,
I think I don't wanna know anything."
I think I want to go into each episode as if it's the first season of Supernatural.
Yeah, I like
Yep.
that. Alright, we're on the same page
Okay.
there.
Because
So, listeners, don't tell us shit about it.
no spoilers. But yeah, because I put out that clip, the joy of watching something like an old friend, and part of that is the experience of how it was back in the day of
Yeah.
not knowing the entire season
Mhm.
6 months in advance
Yeah.
and seeing interviews with the cast about episode 9 when you're still in episode 2 and you're like, oh, okay, oh, come on.
Yeah.
Like just let me enjoy it one at a time here because you're releasing it one at a time, so let me watch it.
Yeah, and we now have, like, the benefit or with this show, the benefit of, like, It's not on Netflix. One person can't stay up until like 6 a.m. binging
Mhm.
it, and then like spoilers are everywhere.
Yeah, yeah, mhm,
I mean, we get to watch it. I mean, I'm watching it Thursday morning, not Wednesday night, but it close enough that
mhm.
I did not get spoiled for anything.
So far, I've been like, uh, there's some places doing recaps, like Vulture
Mhm.
and whatnot, but those are so easy to avoid
Yeah, yeah,
because and like there's Tumblr, but those are GIFs, and I can just
yeah.
scroll right by them, and they don't
Gifs.
provide, you know.
Yeah, I was gonna say gifs are easier to ignore
Mhm,
unless it's a gif of someone dying.
mhm.
Um, yeah, because you have no context. They're just,
There's pictures of
they're not gonna mean
people, and they're
anything. Yeah.
yeah,
Someone
like
kissing or someone dying.
mhm,
Those are the two things that gifs will ruin.
yep, yep. So I think that is how I'm gonna approach it, for now. I'll read the recaps after I watch the episode instead of before, which is sometimes how I watch a
Yeah.
TV show.
Mhm.
Uh, I'll read a recap before just to be like, "Is this bad or is this good?" Like,
I'll do that with movies sometimes.
because then this way eh, I can decide if someone's opinion is wrong after the fact. This person at Vulture doesn't like the Rockstar Alias thing, so obviously they don't understand Supernatural. And then the rest of their
Yeah.
opinion is false. Because that's how it works. But yeah, I like so far so good, I guess. I mean, it's 2 episodes of a TV show. It's been like 84 minutes.
I'm not disappointed so far.
No.
So,
No.
yeah.
I mean, expectations were low.
Yeah, that is key. I
So
did not I was not expecting a masterpiece. It is
no.
not a masterpiece, but
Mm.
yeah, they're not fucking it up yet. Good job,
Oh.
Jensen.
And like if it runs a couple seasons, cool.
Yeah,
Great. I certainly don't want 15 seasons.
please
I
no. Please no.
am a tired person.
It's gonna end with, like, this John being older than, like, canon John.
He's gonna be older than Jeffrey. They'll have to bring Jeffrey Dean
Yeah.
Morgan in to play him again. Like, fuck.
Ugh.
That's how they get Jensen Ackles back, is he just has to be him
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
which is his plan all along.
That's it.
Shit.
Well played.
That's what he
Very
meant
well
to
played.
do.
Do you think that if the show did go on for a certain number of years, they would actually have a John
Yes.
Winchester with 2 little kids actors and just, like, Mary's gone?
No. I don't think so. I
Like,
think
can you imagine, like, "Oh, this is the episode where Mary dies." We've already seen this, but
I I actually was wondering, well, I thought you were gonna say, "Does it end with Mary on the ceiling?" And I was gonna be like,
oh,
"Yeah, probably."
that would work, yeah.
I feel like that's the closing shot
Yeah,
of the Winchesters is,
it
another
should
poor
be.
white woman burning on the
Yeah.
ceiling.
It is
Yeah,
their favorite thing.
it's their favorite thing, and honestly, like, so much of Supernatural is centered around the death of a mother,
Yeah,
um, that it's not wrong to do canonically, it's more like,
yeah,
"Oh, do we need another dead mom?"
yeah. I mean,
So
I'm already thinking that unless Jensen is tired of the supernatural kills women trope, we're gonna see
Mhm.
a steady stream of white female guest stars, aren't we?
Yes.
Because again, they don't like besides Mary and whose death date we know,
Mhm.
they don't have an expendable white woman.
No.
And
Mm-mm.
it really, like we said last week, not a good look if they kill any
No.
of the minorities. Like for one thing, they're all
Main characters?
yeah. I was trying to think of a way to say that. Like they're all like main cast. They're starting out as main cast, not like oh introduced halfway through the season, killed off 5 episodes later.
Yeah, and actually what's interesting is unless they do um Mary and John getting together and breaking up and getting together and breaking up,
Yeah.
John is not going to have expendable girlfriends.
Oh, that's true. And isn't Carlos gay? Or am I just assuming that?
I think he said he is bisexual.
Oh, okay. Oh, nice. I missed
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, but John isn't going to be able to fulfill the
Yeah.
stoic white guy whose man pain is fed by the death of his white
Huh.
girlfriend.
What will Supernatural writers do without that, or Winchester's writers?
I
What
don't
will they?
know.
Oh, they're gonna have
Maybe
to come up with something new.
maybe build a real plot.
Nah, they'll come up with something new.
Nah. Not here.
They've got one plot.
Not,
They are working toward it.
not this show.
Uh,
Um
but yeah, I liked this episode for what it was. It was good. I'm not judging it harshly.
No, I'm not judging it harshly either. I mean, we've always
Yeah.
liked Monster of the Week episodes, and
Yeah.
it still has the beginnings of this monster box plot and searching for Samuel, and feels like the beginning of a series. I'm fine.
I don't think I actually have more to say about this one than that.
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
So, thank you for listening to this Winchesters Weekly. We're 2 for 2, so I'm feeling
Yeah.
really good about this, to be perfectly honest.
It's our best track record so far.
It's our best track record so far. Listen, I am done with season 6 of Supernatural, so
I'm not. I'm what's slowing us down. But
it's really Cass's fault if you think about it.
it really is. I watched another 2 episodes this week.
It's
I have to speed up, but
you'll
it's hard.
hear why it's taking us so long to watch season 6 when we release those episodes,
Yeah.
and it's frankly
Yes.
all about the Cass characterization.
Yeah.
It just hurts. But thank you for joining us for this episode. Let us know what you guys think about the Winchesters. You can follow us at SPN on the Rocks across social media. And if you want to support this pod and our sister podcast, Glee on the Rocks, you can do that at our Patreon, where we release a bunch of extra content at patreon.com/Glee on the Rocks. Or you can just listen and not do any of those things. That's fine too. So yeah, thank you for listening, and we will catch you on the next episode of the Winchesters Weekly.
Goodbye.
You've been listening to Supernatural on the Rocks, a podcast by OTR Productions. A huge thank you to our sound editor, Adriana, and our podcasts, who secretly run the show. For more episodes, download us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, or wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and more at SPN on the Rocks. If you'd like to support the podcast, you can subscribe to our Patreon account at patreon.com/Glee on the Rocks. Subscribers get ad-free episodes, exclusive mini-episodes deep diving into the fandom, salty opinions, and more. So until next time, this has been The Road That Was.